New on Curiosity Stream. She was a loving wife, a devoted mother. She also stole atomic secrets and gave them to the Soviets. Meet the woman whose deception kick-started the Cold War on the spy who stole the atom bomb. And
what if they catch you?
Then I shall be shot.
They're coming! Come back!
relive history's most death-defying escapes. It's Impossible Escapes, Civil War. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Bro, gnarly. What's up, Taylor? Dude, that nerd in his electric hybrid totally blew the light while texting his yuppie friends.
That's so bogus, bro. Are you hurt?
Yeah, like I can't move my hips, bro. I think I broke my pelvis, man.
Dude, no way.
Way.
Taylor, you need to drop a dime and talk with the lawyers at the Advocates Law Firm.
No way, can't afford that, bro. Your crotch is broken, man, and they don't earn any money unless they win your case.
Dude, no way.
You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
99.9 KISW. We return to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Oh, look at there! In the rock shop at KISW.com. It's the new Men's Room Bubba Beans t-shirt.
Beans!
What you been waiting for? You've been waiting your whole life for that, I bet, right?
Yeah!
Would you want a t-shirt with beans on the front and a Men's Room logo? That's amazing, isn't it?
Beans. What? I mean, I don't even like green beans, but
what the hell is that?
Green beans.
Look at that. That's a sharp-looking shirt right there. It's like a can of green beans on a t-shirt.
No, it's green Bubba Beans. That is what the shirt says.
Bubba Beans. Green beans. Yes. Available now in the rock shop.
That's right. Eat healthy.
Make someone in your life happy with that purchase today at KISW.com.
My kid needs one. He does. He loves green. He'll have no idea what the hell this is, but dude loves green beans.
We're waiting for him to get here, too. You know what I mean? We want to get our hands on those bad boys. So
talking about that today.
Our question, what was your or someone else's most embarrassing mistake? 206-421-ROCK.
I like this one. It says, my boss walked in on me pumping breast milk last week. Hasn't looked me in the eye since. Couple things. One, he wasn't looking in the eye when he walked in the first time, and you're under the impression that that was a mistake. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have had a woman breastfeeding beside me on a plane.
I've had that.
And it wasn't that big of a deal. It was just, eyes forward.
Her kid was 18.
Eyes forward. Yeah, eyes forward. You know what I mean? Just like she would talk to me and I just keep my head, facing the straight. You know what I mean?
Like, I mean, what's the protocol, right? She's breastfeeding. Right. I'm not trying to stare at your boobs. I get it. But if you're talking to
someone,
me,
you
I
typically
prefer.
turn your head to the person.
Now, is your problem because you knew your eyes would slip and keep looking down at her boob?
You know what I mean? Well, yeah, I mean, it's not going to be a slip. I'm just going to go there. You know what I mean? Like,
you got another one free?
Jesus. Yeah.
Oh. Actually, it's
she wasn't a baby. She didn't care. I was just trying to just keep forward.
When when Taryn first had her kid, right? She's pumping, and there's a pump room here. All right. I did not realize that that's what it was for.
Oh, you thought it was a different kind of pumping?
Well, it doesn't say pump room.
Right, it says whatever it says.
Privacy room.
Privacy room. But there's a fridge in there, and I want to say we were putting beer in that fridge because when everyone was still in the office, the regular fridge gets full, right?
Yeah.
So we would put our beer in that fridge, and the door was locked. I did not understand why it was locked. So I'm like jiggling the handle, and I just think like it's some other dude just in there,
It wasn't even for beer; it was for sausage.
Was it sausage?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there was some, but it's just like, what the hell, man? Gee, open the goddamn door. And Ted's like, I think Darren's in there pumping. I'm like,
what is
feel
the
like
name
a
of that
jackass.
room? What is the name of that room? There's a
privacy room.
Is it the privacy room? I thought there was a different name for that thing.
No.
It's going down.
Okay. All right.
People have real names, and so do the rooms.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm just saying.
I didn't realize you, but I am just shaking the door.
Yeah, that's what I was like, dude, easy.
I didn't know she was in there.
The only more uncomfortable is that Terrence, like, oh my God, like something like she's like, I was uncomfortable in there trying to go through with the process.
No, sorry.
Well, we can still use a damn refrigerator, and the other refrigerator in the kitchen is packed.
I know.
You think BJ and Miggs and those guys? You think they have got more food in there than I think all four of us in our homes combined?
Yeah, it is unbelievable.
I just surprised they're like, what can I snack on? You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna leave all this crap here, I'm just gonna eat it. What the hell is this?
Yeah, there's stuff in there.
Mm-hmm. They're fairly organized.
I was going to say, yeah.
There's like condiments everywhere. There's creamers everywhere.
I use their condiments. I don't use anything else, but I would use their condiments.
Yeah, I'll use it.
Well, I always assume everything on the left is just all theirs. And I might have been using a condiment of some sort. Then I talked to Miggs, and he was like, nah, man, other people put stuff in there. It's not just our show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
My bad.
Yeah, a lot of food in there. What was your or someone else's most embarrassing mistake? 206-421-ROM.
Damn it, who locked this door? It's like, well, we have it for the one person that's breastfeeding, and they're in there.
Just was not tracking, man. I felt so badly. Sorry. Hello, Brian. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello, how are you?
Hola.
So I was at the Kraken game the other night against Toronto, and, in warm-ups, the pucks go fly off the ice and come out, and one flew over and hit the ground. I saw it. A security guard picked it up and handed it, and I said, hey, can I have that? And so he handed it to me, and I ran into somebody else's kid that I knew, gave it to them. Well, it turned out that a player had specifically handed it to some other kid over the boards, and as I was walking back, the parents kind of said something to me like, hey, that was supposed to be our kid's puck, that was supposed to be for him, and I was like, oh, sorry, I just gave it away. And I've seen the videos of the, Major League Baseball games where guys will shove some kid out of the way to get baseball. Yeah. And they thought I still had the puck. So they were trying to guilt me into giving it back to them. And I'm like, I'm sorry, So I went over and I asked one of the Zamboni people if they could get me another one. Of course, they had, better things to do. And I felt so bad because I felt like that old guy that ruined some kid's night. And they had actually come in from Toronto to
But did they not believe you about, when you said, hey, man, I already gave it away, they still believe that you had it?
They didn't. They were trying to guilt me into giving them the puck back.
I wonder if it was that guy that used to play for the Maple Leafs that actually scored that night, like a significant number of goal. Like he hit whatever number it was, even though the Kraken lost.
Right.
I wonder if that was the player they tried to get the puck from, because he was a Maple Leaf for most of his career before playing here. I can't remember the guy's name.
It was a Maple Leaf player that handled it.
Oh, it was a Maple Leaf player. Okay. Either way.
Do you realize they now have a piss-poor opinion of U.S. citizens?
Yep.
They probably already did.
Won't even give a child a puck.
Toronto, that's a long hike, too.
Well, when you see some of those films, it always looks bad when the adult grabs them. But also, sometimes the adult doesn't realize what has just happened.
I know.
And it's not an exact science tossing them over.
It's not. But it seems to me if you do look, if I were to ever catch a foul ball, which I never have, if there's a kid, whether it's mine or not, next to me, I'll give him the ball. I think the difference it's like I understand the kid gets shoved, everyone's going for the ball. I understand. You're just part of the melee. But when you realize the kid's next to you, you'll see dudes just staring down like, don't give me this ball, man.
Wow! Foul ball! That's fair play. I'm saying I think it's different when it's batting practice or like he's saying.
Yeah.
When the guys are skating around beforehand, it's kind of a common thing that they'll tap on the glass and flip it over to a kid. But
especially if they have a sign up or something like that.
Right, if a puck or a baseball goes out of play,
you wouldn't give it to the little kid next to you.
It depends, man.
There's a 5-year-old kid. You call it the foul ball, right? Great, whatever. Everyone cheers for you. You chug your beer. You're on the big vision thing. So let me ask you this. You don't want to give it to this little kid who's not yours. You don't want to give it to this little kid who's next to you. But obviously, the kid's looking up with those big eyes, right? But then they put your ass up on the Jumbotron because you're the guy. And everyone can see the kid looking up at you. Mike, you're saying no, you're not giving it to him? That would guilt me into it. Hey, you son of a bitch, because we're on TV, I'm giving you this ball when the camera's off.
Let's be honest.
I'm taking it back.
We're talking a five. First of all, we haven't called a foul ball, or what if it's a home run ball? We don't know.
Home run, no.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly
my ass.
Look, man, if it's a significant ball.
Maybe I'm going to say kiss my ass to the kid.
If you're in the outfield and Ichiro jacks one out, right?
I'm keeping it.
You're keeping that ball. Now, if Joe Blow hits a foul ball down the left field line and you happen to catch it, give it to the kid. I think it's really certain because look.
Okay, when you knock the kid out of the way,
why don't you guys?
It's between you and 3 little kids around you. It's a home run ball, right? You got the reach advantage. Are you going to elbow him out?
I'm not going to box him out, but if I catch it, I catch it.
If you want to look,
maybe their dad should have put in some damn effort.
All you got to do is this.
Caught the ball.
In all fairness, if you're down at T-Mobile Park, right? And you got your kid, and you want a baseball, the easiest way to get it is to go over to the bullpen. All right, where they because you can walk up to the bullpen. You tell your kid exactly what to say to that pitcher or the catcher in there. You say "Hey, Mitch, can I have a ball?"
You're my favorite.
He's going to give you a ball. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what if he doesn't?
Or go early. Go early and watch batting practice. They're launching those things out of there.
See, I'm with Miles. No matter what, the kid just gets the ball. He never has to actually catch it.
Home run?
No.
Here's what I mean.
Because that's why I bought those tickets.
Just by default, the kid gets balls, okay? Whether he's at batting practice or whether he's out in the crowd and somebody else catches it, the kid just gets the ball. He never actually has to go up and catch it. So it's always on me to catch the kid's ball. No, let him grow up and catch his own foul ball because I'm going to give it to him. It's going to end up in the back of his closet. He's going to forget the damn thing.
I went to a ton of Orioles games as a kid. Nobody ever gave me a foul ball.
Dead damn right.
Maybe because they knew the man you'd grow up to be.
You go to the All-Star game, home run derby in the All-Star game. You buy a ticket to that. The most expensive seats are in the outfield.
Sure.
Because people just want to catch home runs. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
you giving it to your kids?
You've never sat in the outfield at a Mariners game. Nobody has. It's like 2 people have.
I've sat in the bleachers.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or else you're going to smoke weed and they don't care. All right, Mike. You take G-Man, all right?
All right.
Here's your nephew.
Oh, God.
He has just hit the 8 because he loves baseball. He knows Uncle Mike loves baseball. Uncle Mike's going to take him to his first game. You're going to save money because you're going to blow it all on food so you get the cheap seats. Next thing you know, here comes a home run ball. And, Mike, you catch it, man. And little G-Man's looking at, thank you, Uncle Mike. This is my first baseball game ever. You giving him the ball?
If it's his first baseball game ever, I'll suck it up.
No,
I'll give it to him.
Wrong answer. Because now you set the precedent. You do it in maybe the second game. The first game, you go, hey, this is real life. You ain't catch it, you ain't getting it. Game 2, if it happens.
Okay, but game 2 for me, then I catch it. It's like, okay, this is going to be our home run ball. I'm going to keep it in my closet over here, and it's going to be our home run ball. Then he's going to forget about it, and I'm going to keep the doggone ball.
He will never forget about that. He will never forget about that ball.
You don't realize what kids remember and what is important to them until they grow up and have the bees to tell you what really upset them in their childhood.
You remember when you kept that goddamn baseball?
And you're like
38.
You're like, I don't even remember taking you to a baseball game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never remember what it was that, like, I'll say stuff to my mom, like, don't you remember that time you did this? She's like, I don't remember that time. And I was like, how do you not remember? Because it was the most significant moment of my life. And now my kids do it to me. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know the baseball, though. My brother got a foul ball. I think, like, one of them did. Like, I had an American League foul ball, but, like, I didn't get it. I didn't catch it. I wasn't at the game, like, so it didn't matter.
But you weren't at the game.
I guess you're right. If you weren't
at the game, man, you're at the game. It's different.
The problem is, so you got to keep in mind the adrenaline pump of, like, first of all, we're thinking about foul balls like going up in the air.
Right,
a lot of times, those are just
they're zinging at you.
Rockets coming down. Like, I've been at a game with a good friend of mine. His kid was like 4 or 5.
All right.
And this one went up in the air, but we were right behind home plate. And this is before they had the nets, like, they had them behind the plate, but not over top.
Right.
So, like, we're both looking up. We're real excited. And then at the last second, I see his kid staring up, too, like in the aisle. So I just kind of moved over and pushed the kid in. He catches the ball, then he looks at me and looks at his wife, and she is, like, pissed at him. Because he didn't react to his own kid. He got the ball. I was like, we got to hide the kid.
It happens. I would say this. A buddy
if it's an NFL football,
look, the ball's coming your way is somebody who's played baseball or played sports. Your natural instinct is to gravitate toward that ball. You know what I mean? I got this. You know what I'm saying? Like anything else, it's just your instinct.
Well, and when I was a kid, I wanted what I could have, right? As a kid, you just want to accumulate everything. And I actually got snubbed on a foul ball one time when I was at a game. I was looking at it, and some arm came over, and he reached out of it. It sucked. I completely forgot about it and got over it. I recovered a foul ball at a Mariners game from Robinson Cano. He had a foul ball my way over to an empty area, and I sprinted over and I beat all the hands and I grabbed that thing. I still had that doggone ball to this day.
Of course you did.
If I was a kid when I got that thing, I would not know where it is to this day.
I don't know. You're probably right.
Doesn't matter.
But it's the moment.
A
buddy of mine put it best. He said, look, he's a parent, and one of his kids is like 21, 22 years old or something. And so my kid's obviously quite a bit younger. But he goes, let me tell you something. He goes, in the course of your kid's life when they're young and living at home, there'll be like 2 or 3 things that are almost unforgivable, but it's his kid, you let it go. I said, well, man, that kind of sounds depressing. He goes, no, F that, because your kid holds 50,000 things against you that you don't even know about.
Yeah.
He's like, you didn't do anything wrong. It's just how they perceive it.
My buddy got a signed home run ball during a game.
All right.
If you can believe that. We were actually on This Week in Baseball. This is no joke. There was like an hour and a half rain delay, but we had driven to Pittsburgh, and we're in. You know what I mean?
Sure.
We're 19, 20 years old. We've been drinking. We're staying for the game. So when the rain delay hit, we went and bought beers. We're screwing around. Then we went back to the seats, and it starts raining, and we're dancing in the rain. You know what I mean? And then by that point in time, we were the only people in the outfield. We were. Everybody left. You know what I'm saying? So on This Week in Baseball, they had a clip like, oh, they're dancing in the rain in Pittsburgh, because they didn't win in the game, but there was us dancing, and like we were on ESPN for a second. It was pretty cool. So the guy who hit the home run ball, Andy Van Slyke, he also played center field. And, in Three River Stadium at that point in time, you could hear a pin drop.
Sure.
So when Andy Van Slyke comes back out, he points up at us because we got his ball. I mean, it didn't come to us. My buddy Brett jumped down a few rows.
Right.
Ran on over, got the ball. There was nobody there. You know what I mean? So he's holding up the ball, and he goes, hey. He's like, next inning, throw me that ball back. So he threw the ball back down. He signed it and threw it back up. Now, because it was in the rain and it was still kind of wet, and my buddy didn't catch the ball, the whole damn autograph smudged. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. It was like when he threw it up, Brett didn't catch it. It landed on the ground. Whenever he picked it up, it was just all because he just signed it and tossed it. You know what I'm saying? It was like this slurred version of an autograph.
It says, I met A-Rod at warm-up when he was a rookie at the Tacoma Rainiers. And even at that point, he said, I don't sign autographs. I even had my own ball. I've hated them ever since.
Now, see, that I remember. I remember going to a Frederick Keys game, and the guy looked like the best athlete on the field, and he was like, no, I don't sign autographs.
Yeah. Barry Bonds wouldn't either.
Yeah.
Barry Bonds would talk. He would not do anything.
Yeah, but Barry Bonds has one advantage. He's a douchebag.
But at that point in time, this is pre-steroid Barry Bonds.
A-Rod's not.
This is 40 for 40 Barry Bonds. You know what I'm saying? This is little skinny Barry Bonds.
He was a skinny douchebag. Then he became a douchebag.
And the steroids didn't affect his brain.
Right, well, that's true.
You just wouldn't tell him to his face that he's a douchebag. Right. That's the only thing to change.
But he also had that element of growing up in the richest neighborhood in San Francisco.
He had
not only was he a douchebag, but he was also
he's a rich douchebag.
He's a rich douchebag.
Can you sign an autograph, ma'am?
Right.
Your name is Barry Bonds. It's not even hard to write. I mean, my God, dude, just sign any goddamn thing you have. Sorry.
What was your or someone else's most embarrassing mistake? 206-421-ROCK.
You've got to be kidding me. Yeah. So everyone who's on hold right now is named Mike. So all of them are going to say, hola. All right. Mike number 1, welcome to the men's room.
Hello, bitches.
Boo!
All right, I'll go into this story. It goes back a little ways. When I was in my early 40s, my wife and I bought a new house in a new neighborhood still being built around us. I had a really good friend that was a really good carpenter, and him and a few other friends came over to help me put up some forms and pour a patio and pour some sidewalks around the house. And we got done with that, and my wife had made us a big brunch. We're all sitting out at the table out in the backyard eating this brunch, and this neighbor comes over that I never really cared too much for. Real nosy neighbor. Of course, he wants to know everything that I'm doing and kind of tell him what I'm doing, everything. Well, he finally leaves, and I tell my friends sitting at the table, I said, man, that guy really bugs me. And they're like, well, what's up with him? And I said, so he was best friends with the guy that was the superintendent of building this neighborhood. He's in charge of building all these houses. And his best friend was in his mid-50s, and he had a heart attack, and he died. Well, he had a girlfriend and a dog. Shortly after his best friend dies, this girlfriend moves into my neighbor's house and ends up marrying my neighbor, and he has his dog too. And I said, it's just horrible. And my really good friend sitting across the table from me looks at me and he says, oh, you mean exactly like me? And I totally forgot. Years and years and years before that, he had told me that his wife was married to his best friend, who was a long-haul truck driver, and he got killed in a truck driving accident.
Oh.
And I'm like, no, dude, it was totally different. Totally different. He goes, no, he said it's exactly the same. And I said, no. I said, he took the dog, too.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
That one.
I like it. It's totally different.
But you're dead.
Because he died in a truck accident.
Like, you son of a, you know what I mean? Like, I should have known when I was alive that you were trying to sneak on that.
He took the guy's dog, too.
Your friend also took the guy's dog?
The dog's coming with the widow, for sure. She's not going to abandon the dog as well.
Now, would you be angrier, though, if you found out that she moves in with the guy, but they got rid of the dog? Like, I know it looks bad, but it would be worse.
The dog has nothing to do with it.
No, but I'm saying you would feel worse if you're like, and she got rid of the goddamn dog, right?
No, it was just wrong, man. But the way I said it in front of my buddy, I'll never forgive myself for it. But I'm the king of putting my foot in my mouth.
Yeah, but that's a very unique situation. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying?
That's why it should be easier to remember.
Right.
That, hey, I have one other memory where I know this happened, and it's you.
You should screw this one up.
God. I don't know. Anyway, I read those stories. I'm just like, who does that?
Those two.
Who does that?
That guy knows two people.
Hell, even Biden's kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? The brother died, passed on, and the other brother starts hooking up with his wife.
Yeah.
I'm just when I read that story, I'm like, God
damn, man.
Like, really? You know what I'm saying?
I was consoling her.
Exactly.
With my penis. Dude, come on, man.
What was your or someone else's most embarrassing mistake? 206-421-ROCK.
New on Curiosity Stream, he allows them their riches
Putin has to be the richest of the rich.
in exchange for their loyalty.
The oligarchs have supported someone for president that they underestimated.
The illicit affair between Russia's elite and the man who rules them on Putin and the oligarchs. And World War II Normandy, an obscure battle training session takes a tragic turn. Uncover the one secret military catastrophe on the secret D-Day disaster. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Hey, all the Macholas, thank you so much for listening to the Men's Room Podcast.
And thanks to our pals at the Advocates Law Firm for being great partners. Yes, even you, creepy Kyle.
Seriously, though, if you'd been injured as a result of somebody else in your car, on your bike, walking across the street, talk to our friends at the Advocates Law Firm and let them help you out.
Yeah, they're the best injury lawyers around, and they want to make sure that you're not taken advantage of. Plus, your first consultation is free.
It's simple. You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
99.9 KISW. The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
If you or any of your children have been baptized in San Diego, Arizona, or Brazil over the past 2 decades, you might want to check who the presiding pastor was at the purification ceremony. That's because the Reverend Andre Arango, a priest in the Diocese of Phoenix, has now had thousands of baptisms he performed over the past 20 years rendered invalid, leading to his resignation from the church that he presides over. The hubbub is all thanks to one word he kept saying wrong over the years during the baptismal ritual. The correct way to say the phrase that accompanies the pouring of the holy water during the sacrament is, "You're going to get wet. I baptize you in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit." Unfortunately, his version has consistently been, "We baptize you," not I, but we. That one word variation basically means that all the people that he baptized are not necessarily baptized. You will need to be baptized. They say, as far as we know, the other sacraments carried out by him have been okay. I don't know. Is it really that kind of technicality?
Look, I don't know a lot about the Catholic Church, but if that's what you're supposed to say, the fact that they said, look, because they even said, we don't expect any ill will. We don't think he was effing with anybody. He just said the wrong thing. But in spite of that, if your kid was baptized by this dude in the last 20 years, they're not, what do you call it officially, Ted, when you're baptized? You know, you're not officially Catholic or whatever it is, because you have to be baptized, right, to quote
like
unquote.
That gets you, starts you.
Yeah, that starts you on your path to, Catholicism, whatever the hell it is.
How old are you when you normally get baptized? Are
usually
you a baby?
It's a baby.
Okay. Right.
If your parents have anything to do with it, right? I mean, you can choose to convert it any time you want, but typically, parents do it, and it seems like the kids are still like wiggly Jello squish balls when they get baptized, and then there's a bunch of crap they have to do as they get older. But like Ted said, that's the first step. So now, if I'm a dude who's like 18, all right, and maybe I'm just not down with the church, or I've gotten out of religion or whatever, but I still had to go through all the stuff you go through as a Catholic, right? Through going to the church and all this crap at school. I'm like, wait a minute. You're telling me I went through this, or sat through this, or had to learn about this, or had to memorize this, had to recite this, had to test for this. I didn't have to do any of that crap, because it turns out the guy that baptized me, it wasn't quote-unquote legit. I would be pissed, because that's a lot of time.
But what if you had to do it over? Because technically you couldn't go through the sacraments if you weren't baptized first.
That is correct. So now
is
you
there
find
people,
out.
right, that have already gone through all, like, because most of the sacraments you go through in, like, grade school age, right? You're like, what, 3rd, 4th grade, you have a first reconciliation,
right, there's
you
all
have
these
first communion, then you get confirmation around 8th grade. So imagine you're like, you got to go redo all that.
Basically,
I get the feeling they're like, I'm out.
Here's what it says. It says, those who are improperly baptized by Arango may need to first get properly baptized. Then do over all the other sacraments, such as confirmation, and if you even were married in the Catholic Church,
sure.
Then you need to get married again for it to be actually official.
But wouldn't you have to go through all the
beginning,
stuff
according
again?
to this?
I mean, look, Catholics are very ticky-tacky, right? Like if you're not a practicing Catholic, you're not supposed to get communion and Mass.
Sure, that's fair. That makes sense, right?
So when I go to, like, family weddings, like, I just don't get communion. It's like, you should really get up and still get communion. I'm like, well, I thought I wasn't supposed to. It's what the priest said. It doesn't matter.
Why did the priest say that you weren't supposed to be...
They didn't say Ted. It's just that's just kind of the thing.
Okay, all right.
Like, you're not a practicing Catholic.
The process you have to go through to be a practicing
Catholic,
Catholic, right? And so I've been in the same situation now. Like, there's a Catholic wedding, and you're more than fine to be there, you know, and I'm observing this, but the same thing. Everyone's like, dude, and I'm like, no, look, I'm not religious, but I'm not going to stomp on your rules.
But if you wanted,
make sense.
if you wanted to do it, you still could. They're not going to question you on that, right?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why Catholics are weird, because that's like, I was like, all right, well, I just won't, like, it's not a big deal. But then all the Catholics I know in my family are like, you should still go get communion.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, but I mean, like, listen, but if I'm an adult and I'm a practicing Catholic, right? Like, I'm devout and this matters to me. You know, to Ted's point, it's not like you're just Catholic. There's all these things you have to go through. Probably true of most religions, but like, I went through all this stuff, right? Because I don't care who you are. When you're 8 or 9 years old, you might be devout now. 8 or 9 years old, you're not loving church. It is not exciting. You don't want to go. Your parents dragged you out. You had to get dressed up. All this stuff. But I went through it all. And now here I am. I'm an adult, right? I'm 25 years old. I'm a proud practicing Catholic. Good for me. And then you find out, yeah, you're not.
It's almost like, Mike, if you were going for your Eagle Scout badge and you get your Eagle Scout badge.
How would you know?
But it turns out that the Scoutmaster that you had did not file the proper paperwork with the Boy Scouts of America, and your troop wasn't actually even registered within the database. So that when you go and
they take all your patches
and they
away.
say, look, you know what I mean? Like, you guys aren't an official troop, even though you met all the requirements, technically, you're not even a Boy Scout.
So think about how many merit badges did you have to get?
23 is
21 is what you have to get.
Okay, and you got 20. But they tell you, all right, so, and I know you enjoyed most of what you did.
Sure.
But the ones you didn't, like, if you found out, like, wait, I didn't have to do this, that, and the other.
There were a few required, but there were more electives.
What are the required ones?
Finance, personal finance was required.
Good.
I think camping was required.
Makes sense.
Some lifeguarding or swimming or something like that.
So there are 13 merit badges that you need that are required. First aid is one. Makes sense.
Good.
Citizenship in the community, citizenship in the nation, and citizenship in the world are 3 different ones. Communication is one. Cooking, personal fitness, emergency preparedness or life-saving. I took life-saving. Environmental science, personal management, camping, and family life.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Family life.
What were some of your electives, Mike? I'm curious. When you said, you know what, I'm going for the Eagle.
Canoeing, that was a good one.
The fun ones?
Rowing was any kind of water sports. Swimming was a good one because
did the shooting sports, that was good. I took astronomy, but I didn't turn in my blue card, so I never actually officially got that badge. I did all the work for it, but I never got it because I actually gave it to somebody because his mom was the one that would process them. I said, hey, give this to your mom. Worst mistake I ever made because I never got that badge.
Damn.
Shoot, I'm trying to remember some of the other ones. I think I did computers on one of them.
I had like 30-some merit badges.
Web page design.
But not Eagle Scout.
No.
So you're somebody who kind of like enjoyed the process.
I had the number, and then my Scoutmaster got busted for molesting kids. And so then basically no one was going to take over that troop. He was the lone guy, so the troop basically folded. In that period of time, I had 4 months left to figure out how I could rejoin the troop and then begin my Eagle Scout project right away. And in that point in time, it was just like, you know what? Right. I think I was a little bit shaken up by the fact of what my Scoutmaster had done. So at that point in time, and I knew the kid, and it left a bad taste in my mouth. So I'm just like, I'm
probably the wrong choice of words.
I know, but I know what you mean. I'm out.
No.
I'm out.
Sorry, man. I'm just saying.
I'm out.
You know, we talk for a living.
I mean, it kind
pick your words carefully.
Because this guy was like in charge of the area where I slept with him in a cabin for years. You know what I mean? At camp, because he was the guy who was in charge of the lifeguarding the water area. So like he was indirectly in charge of where I was working every summer. So, and I was the kid that slept underneath me was in the bunk bed was a kid that he was molesting.
Jesus, man.
So at that point in time, I'm just like, no. I am out. Like this, I've learned everything I need to learn. I don't need the accolade.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just move on.
Mike, let me ask you this. Do you still have, so if I remember right, so my brother did Boy Scouts for a while. I got booted. Do you put all of your patches on the uniform?
I got a sash for all my memory.
You did get a sash, right?
dude.
And then, sorry, bro. And then do you still have it?
I think I do.
Okay.
It's
stash, whatever the hell it is.
You just got
stash.
Damn, Miles.
That's not a bear badge.
Exactly. Whatever the hell it is. What was yours? Someone else's most embarrassing mistake? 206. Did you dump me? 206-421-ROCK. What did it almost sound like?
Yeah, that's Bob.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You gotta keep all that other stuff.
I know.
Yeah.
It's just the way you said things.
A little Sean Connery on it.
Sorry.
That's why Sean Connery is not our voice guy for Sit and Spin. Hello, Mike. Part 2. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gents.
Hola.
So, my son was 5 years old, and actually my wife's son, we've been dating for a couple of years. She put the kid down for a nap, and we thought we'd get some afternoon delight. And the kid barged in and said, "Mommy, why is Mike's penis in your mouth?"
Oh, God. And what'd she say?
She looked at me, and she looked at me, and I looked at her, and she was stunned. And so I told the kid, I said, "Why don't you go in your room, and your mommy will come and talk to you in a minute." He left, and she says, "Why me?" And I said, "It's your kid."
You want me to go talk to him?
How old is the kid again?
5.
Oh, so he's old enough to realize what he's saying, and obviously he knows.
Well, I think they're old enough to know what they're saying anatomically, and that's why if he's old enough to know what he's saying, he'd be like, "Mom, you're hooking him up with a." Mike's just said, "Why is he doing?" That seems an awful strange place to put that.
Mike's penis is a dentist,
right? Yes,
right. Got to kiss it and make it better.
Yeah, there you go.
He heard it.
Fixing a boo boo.
Yeah.
It's like dental floss.
He was bitten by a snake, and I'm sucking the venom out.
That is an uncomfortable question.
That is, I feel uncomfortable just hearing it.
Yeah.
Why is because look, if it's not your kid, right, and you're a dude, and it's like, if you want me to talk to him, I'll tell him the truth. Mommy was given what's called a mouth hug, right? I mean, you should be the one to talk to your own kid about that.
What was your or someone else's most embarrassing mistake? 206-421-ROCK.
Have you seen her giving out mouth hugs to other people?
You're like the fourth guy. Hello, Mike. Part 3. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hang on.
There's a mic in there.
I think he's muted himself. Take us off mute, Mike.
He doesn't know what mic you're talking to.
Fair.
There's only 9 of them.
We'll check back with him in a little bit. Hello, Ryan. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
First, I just want to thank you guys for getting me through what is probably the worst year of my life. Making me laugh. You guys are the best.
Oh, wonderful. I'm sorry about it being the worst year of your life.
Yeah. How old are you?
40.
So in 40 years, this last year has been the worst. Damn. Okay.
Just pandemic related or personal stuff?
My wife passed away a year ago.
Oh, Jesus. Well, that's not
good.
good.
Then I got COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was a pick.
And then I turned 40 in isolation.
I mean, at that point, let's not sweat turning 40.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. And this isn't actually the time that you want to start dating anybody either, because there's not a lot of people out there who want to do that.
That's exactly what he wanted to hear, isn't it?
Well, I'm sure there's somebody out there.
Thank you, Miles.
Yes, exactly. I'm just saying it seems like
this is the worst time.
Well, it's been, you can't really, it's open.
I don't know. At 40 years old, just a quick aside, we'll get back to you, Ryan. I'm thinking, you know how you want to slay it. You know, you're past the dumb stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Let me get time, bro.
Right.
Just saying. So other than that stuff, what was your most embarrassing mistake?
I was at Bumbershoot. I was probably 18, 19, hanging out with a bunch of friends, hanging out around the fountain down there at the Seattle Center. And it was all, the side, the big bowl, it was all wet and misty. So, people sliding on their shoes down the fountain and just playing around. there was a little kid running around down there, and it was my turn to go, and he was like 20, 30 feet away from where I was going to be. And I start going, and this kid turns and just makes like a beeline straight towards where I'm going to end up. And I took this kid out in front of a giant crowd of people. His mom was right there. It was on me like a bum on a muffin.
Or anybody on a muffin, for that matter.
Did they think you did it on purpose?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, he was running, and yeah, I don't know. It was just perfect storm.
Yeah.
Once a parent looks at you, I mean, I've said this before. My kid, when he was real young, he was like 2 or 3, probably 3 years old. They were doing this indoor soccer kind of thing down at Magnuson, but you're not even using real soccer balls because all the kids in this quote unquote class are super young. All right. So it's like the real lightweight, soft medicine ball looking things. So my son, real shy at that age. So, I mean, he's just clinging to me, whatever. We're kicking the ball back and forth. I tell him to back up. And I kick one to him and I kick it, but these things are so light that when I kick it, any bit of spin, this thing takes off sideways. And it hits another kid in the face, all right? And it doesn't demolish him because, again, these balls are not particularly hard.
Right. But still, shots.
But it hits him in the face, and the kid's 3, so it's still an issue, all right? So that kid is playing with his father. We kind of just waved to each other like, my bad. He gets it. No problem. We go through maybe 15 minutes more of the class. This thing's coming to a close, and the last thing I'm going to do is give one last kick of the ball to my kid because that's what he wants. So I kick the ball, and this thing peels off to the left again. It hits the same kid in the face. The difference is he is now in his father's arms.
Oh, no.
Right, so his father's carrying him out. So his father's back is to me. The kid's facing over his shoulder. His ball curls.
Jesus
It hits the same goddamn kid. This father whips around. Now he believes I'm like targeting his kid, man. I'm like, dude, I don't know how to explain it. And then my son, to make it worse, is like, wasn't that the same kid? I'm like, yes.
Same kid.
Yes, that was the same kid. Thank you.
What was your someone else's most embarrassing mistake? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Joe. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
So my story is I was 16 and I was at home having some sex with my girlfriend at the time. My dad, I hear the garage door open. Normally that means my dad comes home. He goes upstairs, takes a shower. So I think I've got another 20 minutes. Good to go. He goes upstairs. A couple minutes later, I hear footsteps coming back down the stairs. So I jump out of bed just in time for him to open up the door, and he sees just full frontal naked me, erection, condom.
That's not what it looks like, man.
Yeah.
What does he say, or does he just kind of...
He looks at me, and he looks at my girlfriend, and he goes, uh-huh, and he shuts the door.
I mean, what else can you say? And look, I will tell you one side note. No matter what he thought about anything, he was at least glad you were wearing a condom. I guarantee you that.
Well, so, a few minutes later, I kind of sheepishly go upstairs, and I've got this ass-eating grin on my face. And he looks at me, and he goes, look, I don't blame you. Just don't let me catch you in the house again.
I think that's fair. Yeah. I mean, that's it. Yeah, my father kind of popped me. He didn't catch me in the act. But it's another one. He comes home early. I don't know what it is, man. Your parents can work late every freaking day.
Because it's your one chance.
Of their life.
Because it's your one chance.
The one time. You bring a chick over, it's like, here's my dad. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. It's like 3:30 in the afternoon in the summer. He doesn't normally get home till like 6. About 3:30, he comes home. Now, we had sex already, all right? But when he comes home, sees my girlfriend Dana at the time, looks at her, looks at me. He doesn't say anything. I'm like, all right, cool. So then me and the girlfriend are going to go out later. And before I leave, of course, it's like, hey, let me talk to you for a minute. And, man, you know what the conversation's going to be. It was roughly the same. I can't use this exact words or as a reference to part of my genitalia. He's like, hey, if you're going to be swinging that thing around, he's like, I don't care. 2 things. You get pregnant, you're on your own, and you ain't doing it in this house. And then there's that weird, awful stare that only a parent can give you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's anyone else can stare you down. You're like, F that dude. You know what I mean? Somehow with a parent, like there's all these unspoken things that go with the look. And I'm like, I think I understand. Okay. But in the end, I'm like, I still got laid. So I mean,
I'm happy right now.
I was going to say, they come home early, too, if you're doing something like age illegal.
Like surfing porn on the internet or something? Or
maybe towards the end of high school, you and some buddies decided you wanted to become chewing tobacco users.
Okay, yeah, maybe that's what happened.
But same thing, like my mom worked every day, and just like me and my buddy sitting on the back porch throwing in a huge lipper, and it's like, right, she pulled right. I'm just like, you got to be kidding me.
Right, you're never home
all days. Like, what are you doing home?
But the same thing happens with them. You know what I mean? That door's closed. No one ever comes in. You never want to be near them, hang out with them. You're always in the basement, doing in your bedroom. You're always out playing. And the one time that you walk in because you need to get something out of the bathroom in there, whatever, boom, it's the same thing.
Maybe those are just the only ones we remember.
You know what I mean?
You know what? Maybe that's it.
Maybe maybe parents come home once in a while, but it's like, right, you only remember getting caught.
Right? Yeah, you do remember that.
I'm sure I threw in a bunch of lippers.
The only time that I walked in on my parents having sex was they had the Tylenol in their bathroom. I had a raging headache, you know, and they dead serious. Like I didn't have they were in control of all the medicine. So like that really wasn't in my exactly. So I didn't even think about it because I didn't know they were home. You know, it was on the weekend. I just walked in like, whoa, I need Tylenol.
Actually, one of my exes, and she always talks about walking in on her parents. It was her mom and her stepdad, and she'd already moved out, so they're kind of up there in age. And she stopped by their house to get whatever it is she's going to get. She's like, dude, and the way their condo was set up, when you open the door, you're looking right into the living room, dining room. So she's like, I opened the door. There's no way to not see it. Stepdad had mom bent over the dining room table, butt naked. And she saw it over the door, like she heard dishes moving and stuff. And she's like, he is railroading her, right? And he's like 65 years old. I know they have sex. It's nothing you ever wanted to picture. It's like, open the door, and they both look up, you know, one head over the other, and she's like, it's just,
hello.
It's awful. And I'm like, well, what do you do? And she's like, I told when I was there to grab, I grabbed it and left.
It was stepdad in the dining room with the candlestick.
Who sucks less? And emails coming up next.
New on Curiosity Stream, she was a loving wife, a devoted mother. She also stole atomic secrets and gave them to the Soviets. Meet the woman whose deception kick-started the Cold War on the spy who stole the atom bomb. And
what if they catch you?
Then I shall be shot.
They're coming! Come back!
relive history's most death-defying escapes. It's Impossible Escapes, Civil War. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit CuriosityStream.com.